Newly colorized footage captures the emotional moment John McCain and fellow troops imprisoned in Vietnam began their long journey home to the United States. The historic video, shot in 1973, shows U.S. soldiers on board a flight home after stepping off a bus at Gia Lim Airport in Hanoi as they prepare to go through a release ceremony to repatriate them to the United States. The footage marks some of the final moments in the conflict between the two countries after a ceasefire was mandated in January 1973. The release of the U.S. forces formed part of an exercise called Operation Homecoming, which saw 591 American POWs return to the U.S. Heading home, POW are seen on one of the 54 flights heading home to the U.S. from Vietnam between February and April in 1973. The release of the U.S. forces formed part of an exercise called Operation Homecoming, which saw 591 American POWs return to the U.S. between February and April of that year. Once boarded onto an aircraft, the troops happily chatted and smiled, eager to return home. What did we miss? Some of the POWs missed historical events including the assassination of JFK and the moon landing. POW are seen on one of the 54 flights from the U.S. from Vietnam between February and April in 1973. The troops are seen happily chatting and reading newspapers, no doubt eager to catch up on the news of the day. The Arizona senator was captured and subsequently imprisoned on October 26, 1967, when his A-4E Skyhawk was shot down by a missile during a bombing mission over Hanoi. McCain was not only seriously wounded and subjected to torture, he was also placed in solitary confinement in March of 1968, where he would spend 2 years. Despite this, he refused early repatriation, offered on account of his father's new role of commander of all U.S. forces in Vietnam, saying he would continue to refuse until every man imprisoned before him was also released. McCain was subjected to severe torture at the hands of the Vietnamese, bound and beaten on a daily basis to the point of attempting suicide, which was stopped by guards. Read all about it. A soldier grabs a copy of a newspaper in the newly released footage. Many men were held captive for up to 10 years in some cases. Dashing, newly colorized video shows a smiling John McCain released after 5 years of imprisonment in North Vietnam. McCain shakes the hand of a high-ranking officer as he gets off the plane and before boarding a large aircraft along with fellow, newly released troops. His eventual release came on March 14, 1973, and despite a grueling 18 months of rehabilitation, McCain's wartime injuries left him permanently incapable of raising his arms above his head. McCain had spent time in Harlow prison, but as he explains in an interview from 1973 in U.S. News & World Report, he was actually released from what they called the plantation. The official Vietnamese names for the POW camps are not known with the exception of Harlow Prison, which was dubbed the Hanoi Hilton by the American POWs held there. Surely eager to catch up with loved ones and events that took place while he was imprisoned, McCain and fellow POWs exit a bus in Hanoi in 1973. A photo taken the 26th of October, 1967 shows U.S. Navy Air Force Major John McCain being rescued from Hanoi's Truc Bac Lake by several Hanoi residents after his Navy warplane was downed by Northern Vietnamese Army during the Vietnam War and before being taken in as a POW.